Okay, I found my phone as well. How are you feeling? How are you feeling?
Okay.
Because you don't really want to make the call, do you? But you have to. Or what? I don't know, son. Do you want to have the call? Do you want to talk?
No talk.
You want to talk with Daddy?
No.
You don't want to talk?
No. Don't talk.
Well, then... Thing is, you have to because the judge ordered it. So that's not very nice if you don't want to talk to Daddy, but you have to, is it? I'm sorry about that, son. The judge makes you. I'm not making you. It's a rule. So that's why Mummy told you you have to call. And I don't believe you what you say that you don't want to talk to Daddy. So just looking at some photos, do you know when we were in the Holiday Inn with all that do you remember all the foamy stuff?
The fluff.
All that big foamy white stuff. When I sent you some photos this morning of it with Daddy on the foam like a Father Christmas beard. I was just looking at some photos of us playing and you were smiling and we were having loads of fun. And you didn't look like a little boy who didn't want to see his daddy. You looked like you were having lots of fun. Didn't you have fun with me? Yes, you did, you cheeky bum bum. Listen to... What about this one? Listen. Don't smile. Don't smile. Do not smile. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. I can see you laughing. You Look
The
at
only
that.
thing that makes me laugh is the sarcasm. Sarcasm makes people laugh.
Don't laugh. You cheeky bum bum. I made you laugh.
I know how to control my mouth. Wait.
Don't smile. Let's see now. Don't smile.
My jaw.
Do you know I went out last night? I got drunk for the first time in 3 years. On wine. And my girlfriend was driving the motorbike. And all of a sudden it went... like that. And I could smell it. And I said, "What's that?"
I don't understand. Did she fart or was the engine just
No,
let out?
she farted really big and loud and it was smelly. Even though the wind was going, we were driving on the bike, I could smell it. It was really stinky. Because she likes to eat all these innards and stuff, right? So when I said, "What was that?" Do you know what she said? A frog. Because a frog. Because of the sound that frogs make. They go... Because it sounded like a frog, but it was a fart. But I feel a bit dizzy today because I don't drink and I had some wine. What are you doing? Look at that cheeky face.
Oh, once I think about wine, it disgusts me. People with smelly feet go step on grapes.
That's really true. I've thought about that a lot. Because in Thailand, feet, everybody wears no shoes in the olden days and still in the country. So feet are seen as a very disgusting thing because it's like the bottom of your shoes, isn't it? It's like, well, oh my God, I'm drinking a bottle of squashed grapes with smelly feet. But they don't all do that anymore. It's just certain small little wine farms that do that.
They call it the most expensive, fascinating drink ever. How it's made to 2 people stepping on this. They don't even check whether the grapes is ripe.
Don't they?
They don't.
What, when the people who are stepping on them?
Just like if they'll check just if one is slow growing, right? And it's not ripe, if the rest are ripe and one is not ripe because it's slow growing, the don't care about the slow growing one and still just step on it and make smelly grape feet wine.
Oh.
Yeah?
Can I say something?
Yeah?
Son, I want to say sorry for upsetting you, talking about things you don't want to talk about, but I won't be doing it anymore because we spoke about it already, so that's finished. I asked you and you told me, you said what you had to say, and so we don't have to talk about those unpleasant things anymore. Okay?
Okay.
I didn't want to upset you, but I can't explain why, but I had to talk about those things. But now we've talked about them, we've got it out of the way, we can just talk some fun things. So, what's wrong, son?
Gun stuck inside my teeth. I was
Get a toothpick. Get a toothpick, but what have you got?
Fried chicken stuck in my teeth. So I got it out.
I've got... Here. Have a toothpick. Take the toothpick. Yeah, you can get it out with that. That's what I do. It would be good if one day the technology... Wow! You just used an invisible virtual toothpick. And you've eaten that piece of crap. But you've just eaten a rotten piece of food out of your tooth. It might have been a bogey or something. A boogie.
No, it's fried chicken.
Fried chicken. Was it Kentucky Fried Chicken?
Not from I'm not sure, but very yummy fried chicken.
Pooh Bear says he's still very scared of you, but he's thinking about playing with you again. But he wants me to ask you if... Can you sometimes let him win and just not always let him get beaten up? Can you maybe let him beat Hong sometimes?
Okay.
Feel sorry for him, lad. He was your first toy.
I gotta let him actually beat up Hong.
Actually, it wasn't your first. Your first Pooh Bear was Bolster Pooh Bear, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, and you used to drag him around like Linus. Do you know who Linus is? You know Peanuts? Peanuts movie.
Yeah.
You know Linus, the little boy who carries his blanket around with him? He drags it around with him everywhere. He's called Linus. Yeah. Well, you were like Linus. You had your own little blanket, which is your Russie, your leopard Russie, and you had a little blue one as well. And wherever you went, you had your dummy in your mouth, and you would drag that blanket with you everywhere. And then when you got Bolster Pooh Bear, you did that with him, and that's why his head goes like this all the time, and he's got a broken neck because of you dragging him about.
No, who hasn't shown up in a long time who's making a very evil plan?
Hong is been up to things around the universe because he has lots of missions. You know, he has very important things to do. He's very powerful, and you know he's one of the, what do you call that? He's one of the directors of the Galactic Federation, and he's the chief representative for the planet Hong. Was that a smile? Did I see a smile?
I know, this is my what face? Galactic Federation.
I want to tell you something. Yeah, don't you know what the Galactic Federation is?
I don't.
The Federation, you know. Make it so. Who says that? Make it so. Captain Jean-Luc Picard. You don't know Star Trek, The Next Generation.
Oh no.
You don't like it?
Actually, no, I've been watching Harry Potter. I'm getting into Harry Potter
again. I thought you would. because you liked it at first when we first got them, the whole set, but you were still a little baby. So now you'll be, you know the films, but I bet you're seeing and understanding lots more things you didn't see before, huh? That's a. I still want to show you some of those real magic things, though. One day. Yeah, I'm coming again soon, you know. I'm coming to see that little boy who doesn't want to see his dad again. In about end of January. It's going to cost a lot of money again. I won't save anything, but never mind. It's worth it to go play in the swimming pool with you. So you can laugh all day with that guy you don't want to see again. Son. I know Daddy's a grown-up, but I want to tell you something about grown-ups. Grown-ups are more like little children than little children. Don't you think grown-ups are very silly?
Well, matters. Some grown-ups, what topic?
Can be silly. Some grown-ups can be silly sometimes. They can be sillier than children. We don't ever really grow up. We just have to learn how to act like grown-ups. But actually, every grown-up is still... We're still kids. I'm still a little boy too, you know. I like to play. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I like to do this with my nose.
Itchy nose. You've got a nice nose, you have. It's a Eurasian nose. It's not flat. It's not flat. You can see some Chinese in your face, but you can see your nose is a little bit more pointy, and it makes you very handsome. Don't pick your bogies and oh, you've been in the bin. That's good boy, good boy. Pick away. You pick that bogey then. Do you stick them under the desk at school? We used to use chewing gum we used to stick our chewing gum under the desk in England. You know, stick it under and you can't get it off. It goes hard as stone. That's why Singapore don't let you do it. Because actually it's disgusting stuff, isn't it, chewing gum?
Yeah. No, they allow chewing, that's not bubble gum.
Yeah.
Later you blow it, pops and goes into someone's face.
But actually you can buy chewing gum in Singapore. But it's the dental one, you know, like dentine. You should get some. It's very good for your teeth. It's called dentine with a Y, dentine.
Use all of the bad ones.
It gets all of the stuff that's stuck on your teeth and it cleans it. It's very good for you. And it's made from gum. Gum comes from trees.
Yeah, it actually has the oak of, the sap of a tree.
Yeah. And you know, have you ever heard of frankincense and myrrh? What the Christians burn in their incense bowls. You can chew that like chewing gum too. I've chewed it because I used to mix incense in England when I practiced magic. Before I learnt Buddha magic, in England I was practicing Wicca and herbal magic of the Druids. You know the Druids?
Yeah.
So since Daddy was 17, Daddy met a magician and so he taught Daddy how to do magic. I don't know if magic's real or not, but anyway, I learnt how to do that magic. And he told me, this is gum, try a piece. Frankincense. And you can taste the frankincense. You can actually chew it and eat it. And the myrrh as well, but the myrrh is very strong. It's like, you know, it smells like an old person's house. With
What's myrrh?
Myrrh. It's one of the gifts that the three kings gave when little Jesus was born in the legend. You know, the Christian legend. When he was born, three kings came and they gave him gold, frankincense, and myrrh as the gifts. It's cold. I'm getting cold. So I'm going to try and think up a game to play for tomorrow, for the next call. So we can have fun, so that you don't want to have no fun.
About
We've only been talking for 10 minutes.
Huh?
We've only been talking for 10 minutes. Hang on. 15 minutes. We've got 15 minutes left. We've been talking for 15 minutes because I'm timing it. Yeah, you called me at... You called me at... what time did you call me at? You called me 15 minutes, 24 seconds ago. So it's not time to go. We've got another 15 minutes. 14 minutes, 30 seconds. Sorry about that, son. It's not time to go. Can still talk. So, right, that's the rule. It says 7. What time is it there?
Huh?
What time is it there?
I don't remember that watch.
Huh? Well, I know you called me about...
I can't see the time. 7:58.
Right, because my counter, which I pressed about 15 seconds after you called, says 16:08. Because I have to count it now to make sure it is half an hour, because every time you call it seems a lot less than half an hour when Mummy says it's time to go. So I'm using a clock. I have a timer clock now. So there you go. Didn't work, did it? What are you doing? No, you're not. You, lots of bogies. Blow it then. Don't you have any tissues? Have you been playing KOTOR? What are you playing in the moment? Tell me.
What mainly playing?
What is?
I'm not really
Playing much.
playing much. I'm more of a sleeper.
Sleeping. That's
I like sleeping. Nice, warm and cozy.
That's also because I've slept for 3 days solid when I came back after our holiday, our visit, because I was very tired. I was aching all over. So you're probably still tired and sleeping from that. But you better get your power up, because at the end of January I'm coming again. For 10 days this time. 10 days. So imagine how long you're going to sleep after 10 days of swimming with Daddy. Eh?
I'm already sleeping a lot. There's something about sleeping. It's so nice. Cozy.
And you don't know. You don't have to think. You dream as well. Do you remember your
I
dreams?
don't dream. I don't dream.
Oh, I remember my dreams, and I wake up in them sometimes. If you wake up in a dream, it's fantastic. Because you know what you can do? It happens. Yeah? It's happened to me lots of times. You say, hang on, I'm not awake, I'm dreaming. But you kind of wake up in your dream. And when I did that last time, do you know what I did? I said, I'm going to China and I'm going to fly. And I was flapping my arms like this. And at first I couldn't get off the ground. I slowly kept going up a bit. I kept trying, and I could see my own mind was stopping me. And then all of a sudden I did it. And I kind of, in an instant, I flew from England, and I was in China, and I was on top of these roofs, you know, the old Chinese roofs with the tiled roofs with the pagoda shapes. And I was walking along, like flying over these roofs, just hovering. And all of a sudden, these Chinese, but it was in the past, because it was like olden days. And I just saw these Chinese people down in the street look up, and somebody pointed up at me and said, "Look up there!" And they saw me, and everybody in the streets were looking up, pointing at me, and I flew away. And then I woke up.
Actually, I only had 2 dreams mainly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not much of a dreamer. From what I can remember, only 2 dreams so far in my life. One was whatever thing you see, like in wake up in the dream, and one was just a normal type of dream. But I knew it was fake. And I said to myself, this is fake, right? And then after that, some I don't remember, something walked up to me and said, yep, this is a dream.
Oh, that's interesting. But that's funny, you know. We're very different in that, because Daddy always remembered every dream every night as a little boy. And you know what I could do? I used to say to Paul, tonight I'm going to be a Formula One driver. And when I fell asleep, I'd go to sleep telling myself, I'm going to dream of being a Formula One driver. And when I fell asleep, I was racing Formula One. And the next day I'd say, tonight I'm going to go to the moon in a space capsule. And they would choose what my dream was going to be. And they would always dream what I chose to dream.
Actually, I only like don't
I'm
know
not lying, son. I'm telling the
or
truth.
I'm not really into dreams because I just want a nice fast sleep. I just want me to do like I just sleep. I just see my eyes just black for half a second and then I wake up already. Doesn't feel like I'm been sleeping for 8 hours.
Well, that's good.
It's just that when I hello.
Yeah, hello.
When I sleep, I really like to sleep so my whole mind shut off when I sleep.
Okay.
Something like that.
Well, that's good because you get 100% rest and relaxation.
Yeah, I really like sleep.
It's like charging your batteries. Well, if next time when they come on a visit, if you don't want to swim in the pool and you want to sleep, you can sleep on Daddy's bed.
Hotel beds are not good to sleep on.
No, home beds are good to sleep on. That's why Daddy doesn't like hotels. Also, many people sleep in them. And so, like Mummy doesn't like just somebody to sit on her bed. Yeah? Yeah? I can't hear you. What?
It's back.
It's back.
Yeah, just now the sound went off.
Yeah, it went off. I couldn't hear you. Now it's back. So when we talk fast.
Just now and later I'm going to eat some fried chicken, very yummy.
Again? Oh, you've had some and so you're going to have some more of it because it's very yummy.
Very yummy.
I haven't eaten anything yet. And yesterday I only ate one sandwich.
Eat something. If you haven't eaten yet, I think you must eat a big meal.
I can't eat when I'm worried. When you have a son one day, you'll know what I mean. Mind you, maybe you won't have one. Maybe you'll never get married and just... It's not bad either. Then you can spend all your money on yourself and do what you want. But I think you'll have a son or a daughter. Maybe you'll have a daughter. Well, we'll see. That's a long time away from now. We'll have to see, won't we? Uncle Paul said, thank you very much for calling him as well. And he wanted to wish you a Happy New Year again. I hung up on him though because he was drunk. So boring. He's great when he's sober, but when he's drunk, just don't want to talk to him. He doesn't listen. But he's a lovely man, is Uncle Paul, son. Talks about you all the time. And Auntie Goy said Happy Christmas. I don't know if you saw Auntie Goy yesterday. Oh, did you? Okay. Ow! I got it stuck in my tooth. Can you see? I can't get it out. It's stuck. Can you help me to pull it out? Thank you. Thanks, son. I got it out.
No,
pick your nose.
You know what feels nice on my mouth?
I'm picking your nose. What feels nice on your mouth?
You know, all people's teeth, all of the teeth aren't properly all symmetrical. Around 8 and onwards, your teeth start to get unsymmetrical, you know?
Yeah, some are longer and shorter.
Yeah, so actually here, there's a gap in between.
Yeah,
and
you
I
have
put my tongue here and suck.
Yeah. Have you been to the dentist? What does the dentist say? Does he not want to put any braces or do you not need any?
I don't go to dentist. My teeth is very fine. I have good teeth.
Yeah, but every 6 months you have to have a dentist examination just to make sure. You can't just tell yourself they're fine. Mummy doesn't take you to the dentist for a checkup?
My school has a dentist. Every now and then I'll go there, check my teeth.
Oh, so a dentist, you do get a dentist look at your teeth sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I don't mean you have to go get some dentistry done. I know I know who did your last piece of dentistry, and it wasn't a dentist.
I don't like dentistry. They get drills or all of that.
Yeah, you're scared because I remember you telling me about when your granddad pulled them. But that's what I don't know. How did he pull them? With a string, like in the comics, or with a tool? How did you?
Good string, very good string. I never hurt a bit, and it didn't bleed much.
You said it bled a lot.
No, it didn't.
Yes, you did. You said it bled a lot. You said, I was very scared, but then actually it didn't hurt as much as I thought it was going to, because it doesn't hurt that much, really. And then you said, but a real lot of blood came out, Dad. I remember you telling me.
You know what? I thought it was a lot of blood.
Son, when you pull a tooth, a lot of blood comes out, always.
Yeah, but that was rough. My tooth is not a lot of blood.
So he wrapped a string round it. Did you put it on the door and open the door?
No, that's not good. That's not good. Very bad method.
So what was the method then? I don't know.
You know, one time I
So
saw
what did you do?
a
Just pull it?
video,
Just pull it like that, or what?
Not very pull very hard. Carefully, like just pull it out. Like, cause it's very wiggly, so it was easy to outsert. It's very wiggly. It was like this.
Bet you didn't want to at first, though, did you?
Huh? Oh.
You've got 3.5 minutes left. I'm having my full time. I'm sorry, son, but I'm having my full time. 3.5 minutes. I've got a clock here, so nearly over. Son, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have to do this, but at least we should find ways to have fun. Got to have these calls. Whoa! Bless you. Son, there's nothing wrong with having a call. We can have fun.
Watermelon.
Boo! That works. Get a shock. That stops you from sneezing. Oh no, that's hiccups.
Normally, I'll just say watermelon and I'm about to sneeze and it goes away.
Okay, son. Wait, it's now 27 minutes and 39 seconds. So you're nearly at the end of the call. So I'm trying to think of if there was anything I wanted to ask, or you've still got some money in the Apple TV, so you buy yourself a movie if you want. And if I see it's gone, I'll top it up for you. And is there anything you need me to send you? Some,
No need.
have your Kinder eggs all gone yet?
Yeah.
You know, I sent you 3 boxes of Kinder eggs.
Yeah.
Have you eaten them all?
Yeah.
Have you?
Some I give away
That's
to my
90
friends.
Kinder eggs.
Yeah, I give some away to my friends.
That's good, boy. Practicing generosity is a good thing. I want to tell you something before we go. I love you. I love you very much, son. Yes, I do. I love you. And I'm sorry I told you off yesterday. Because I'm sorry I told you off because it's not your fault. You're a good boy. And you haven't done anything wrong. You're a good boy. Okay? And Daddy loves you very much. I love you. I love you, son. With all my heart.
Scratching my nipples.
No, that's a rude word. No, it isn't. You mean you're scratching the things that Pooh Bear doesn't have any of? I'll bring Pooh Bear out tomorrow, okay? Shall we have Pooh Bear tomorrow? Huh?
Okay.
Or you think of something? If not, I'll get Pooh Bear out and we'll play. Okay? Alright, son. You go have your chicken. And Happy New Year. And I love you very much.
Bye.
Bye, son. I love you. So this was recording made the day after yesterday's recording where my son said he never wants to see or talk to me again. Does that look like a child who meant what he said?